Hello, I'm Colie Otzel. Welcome to America's Salon Academy, the podcast. I believe that success leaves clues, so listen closely as I discuss life and business with some of the world's best hair artists. Our guest today has worked as a stylist for New York Fashion Week for the last 5 years. She was also the stylist for the TV show Celebrity Apprentice and has done hair for the Jersey Shore cast members. You can find her work in magazines and on TV. She is a platform artist at hair shows and the creator of Glam Slam Productions. My guest for today is one of my favorite stylists in New York, Laura Conroy. How are you, Laura?
Good, Colie. What's going on?
Not too much. I'm so excited to have you on here today.
I'm so excited to be part of this. I love what you're doing. I love your website. I love all the content. You're doing so great.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love all the work you're doing as well, which is exactly why we invited you to be on this podcast.
Great.
All right. So, Laura, we know that you're from New York now. Were you born and raised in New York?
Yep. Born and raised in New York. I'm a true New Yorker.
Yeah. What did your mom and dad do for a living?
My mother was a secretary. My dad was he was kind of a clerk and kind of did a couple of different things. He was a security guard. They did a bunch of different things.
So where did you get your creative genes from?
I think my father was very creative. He did a lot of different art stuff, and I would have to say my father.
Yeah. So what did you do for fun when you guys were growing up?
We went camping and we camped all the time. I continue to camp right now, but we went camping around the United States. And I don't know, my mother and father were into plays and they did a whole bunch of different things and different plays. And we were always involved with theater and stuff along that nature.
Oh, that's cool. So how old were you when you figured out that hair would be your career?
Well, to be honest with you, I really didn't know that hair was going to be my career. It really was kind of a lucky guess because when I was about 15, my mother said, "What do you want to do for the rest of your life?" And at that point, I was like, "Well, I don't want to go to college, that's for sure."
Right.
And I said, "I don't know, hair." So she enrolled me in Queens Vocation. It was a vocational school. And I really, honestly, I have to tell you, I just went through the school. It didn't mean that much to me until I got out of school. You know, it was a couple of years before I realized that I love it and I was really good at it.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting that it kind of took you a little while, but I mean, still 15, who knows what they want to do at 15?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I really didn't even think I was paying that much attention. And then all of a sudden, somebody asked me to do a haircut and I did. I was like, hey, I did a good job. And it was really, it was just kind of a lucky guess. And even though I said I just never wanted to take another class again. I just really just wanted to, that was just going to be my job. And then after I was a stylist for about 3 years, I was so bored because I had not taken another class and I was doing the same thing over and over. And that's when I went to start working in Manhattan, and I worked at a salon that was very big into education. And that's when I truly fell in love with hairdressing, when I got to explore every avenue, you know, color, cutting, perming. You know, up to then I really just cut hair. And,
Okay.
you know, so that's when I really started to grow, when there was, and then I loved education.
So that's sort of went into now that you're doing like education and you're doing platform work and stuff like that. So it
Right.
kind of just evolved.
Yeah, it really did. And then my daughters also went to beauty school. And so that really like sparked a new interest because then we're kind of excited to do things together. We've worked some shows together and we travel together. And it's really great because they get to show me what's new in the industry on the younger part that I would not have known if they weren't involved with it. For instance, Instagram and social media and, you know, the world of the web and education on that platform.
So how many daughters do you have?
I have 3 daughters.
How old are they?
One is 22, and she's a stylist in Manhattan. One is 18, and she's a vet tech major. And my youngest one is just about to just graduated from beauty school, and she's about ready to take her test.
Wow, that's so exciting. Are you
Hmm.
excited for her to be in the industry or
Yeah.
nervous?
I'm excited. I think it's
Yeah,
great. I think it's the greatest industry. Really, I absolutely love it. I love everything about it.
that's great. Do you think you'll encourage her to do education, or just allow whatever her process is, just be that process?
Well, I think that let that process be that. My younger daughter is she's also going to go to school for film, so I believe she'll probably be very big into the hair and the social media and the YouTube and the videos for on the internet. I believe she'll go into that direction at some point.
Oh, that's really cool.
Hmm.
So, what was your first love with doing hair? Like, when did it really click for you that you're going to really love this?
Um, I don't I don't know.
Yeah.
I think when I figured out I was really good at cutting hair,
Yeah.
and even though I was very good at cutting hair, I was very beginning, very green, and I I do a haircut very even and symmetrical, from very early on. But I think then when I learned how to do texture and make hair move, that's when I realized like I'm really good at this.
Yeah.
How I
Yeah.
really am. I'm like, I can make her do things that not everybody can do. Right.
Right.
So I really love that. And then as I got into color and I finally started to learn it, I it's just really um I realized that I was good at it. And I also realized how in depth the knowledge is. It's not just cutting hair and it's not just coloring hair, it's the chemistry behind it and what makes what happen and what reaction. And I find the science behind it really fascinating as well. And I think that, when I explain to people, I don't think people really realize what goes into a haircut, what goes into a style, what goes into um, creating a look
Yeah.
for somebody, right? I mean, it's emotional, it's the scientific aspect of
Yeah.
it. And right when people finally know, when they listen, they're like, wow, hairdressers are really smart. They just
Right.
don't get that reputation, but people would not realize what goes into it.
Right. Yeah, it's like we have our own language, and so we kind of, that's the hard part, is when you first start doing hair, you have to sort of talk to your client in their language, because once you've gone through beauty school, you now have your own lingo and you
Mhm.
understand things at a totally different level.
Right. And
Yeah.
I remember going into when I was younger, before I even got a haircut, I went in and there was all pictures on the wall. I was like, I want that one. Meanwhile, my hair was
Yeah.
nothing like it. I'll take the number
Right.
3. But you just don't realize. You just think the sky's, the limit. But there are limits with each hair texture, which each hair type, and
Yeah.
yeah.
The emotions as well. Like, I can remember when I first started doing education, it was actually difficult for me because I had so much emotion or just feeling. I couldn't describe it. I had to learn how to describe things
Right.
to my students, because I was like, I don't know, I just feel it out. Like, that's not an answer. You have to have an answer.
Right. But there's a lot to be said for feeling it out as well. I mean, I think that that's a class all in itself. Just feel, feel
Right.
there, feel what it's doing. Close your eyes and feel, because you really do have to go by feel. Also, you have the technical, but feel is also really super important. I always
Right.
say, I would like to just get a mannequin and just have them, just feel. Not even create a haircut, just create feel and texture. I think that would be a super cool class.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So, did you have mentors?
My cousin was a hairdresser and he was pretty good at it. He worked in Queens, and he was into education as well. And he was I would say that he was my mentor to inspire me to become a hairdresser. I thought he was a really cool guy too, so
Right.
you know. Um and then I don't know if I would say I had one mentor, but people inspire me all the time. I'm inspired by many people and really everybody. I could just watch something everybody does and I get inspired and I learn from them.
So, how long, this is sort of a deep question, but how long did it take for you to actually feel successful in your career?
Well, I went to a couple of different salons, and I worked in Queens for a while, and then went to Brooklyn and all. And I don't really think I ever felt successful there because I was just going from salon to salon. I was only 18 years old, so I had to. I hate this person. I hate that. It was
Right.
maybe I don't like this neighborhood, but I would say when I went to the city after probably about a year, when I really started to learn and I really started to make more money, that I would say that I felt successful.
Excellent. So, let me see here. When is that when you really started like feeling proud of yourself, or would you say you started really sort of feeling proud of yourself like actually in beauty school because you noticed a difference between you and then your other classmates?
I did not. I was really not a great student in beauty school. I really
Yeah.
wasn't. I was 15, 16 years old. I really don't even think I paid attention. I think I really started to notice the difference when I was in the city, like I said, after a year or two, and I was reaching goals, and there was a lot of competitions, and no matter when there was a competition, I would go for it, and I kept winning. I won a trip to Greece at my salon. I won a trip to Puerto Rico. I won a dinner cruise, and it was the one salon that I worked in. That's where my daughter works in it now. It's called Dramatics, and they're great, great in chain in the city, and at the time they had 5 salons, and I was the highest booker out of all 5 salons, like every time, working in the slowest salon. It was in a very slow area, yeah. And like I guess then that's when I started to feel successful, and then I opened my own salon on 23rd and 5th, and I did that for a couple of years, but it was my dream, and my dream was to own many salons. But after I owned that one salon, I realized I don't like being a salon owner personally. I think that it's great, and I think everybody should try it. But for me, it was not. It just wasn't for me. It's not easy owning a salon. You think it's going to be easy. You think it's going to be great, but it's a lot of work. And I give a lot of credit to all the salon owners out there. They work hard, harder than anybody in the salon. Yeah, and for me, that wasn't really what I wanted. I thought it was. So I sold out to the salon, and I just worked there, and I managed the salon. But then I decided to go to college because I thought, well, I don't really know what I want to do at this point. So I went to college for a while, and I actually became an RN. But yeah, so I'm not a hairdresser because I have no other option. I'm a hairdresser by choice. I am a nurse, and I work per diem. I just work like once or twice a week, but I work as a hairdresser full time. And I like the diversity of it, but hairdressing is my life. It's just who I am.
So it sounds to me like you're such a giving person. Like everything in you is passion and giving.
Mm-hmm. I like to give.
I can tell.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your experience with New York Fashion Week.
Oh, I love the New York Fashion Week. It's so much fun. It's just, I think all hairdressers have an avenue that they excel in, and I guess being from Manhattan and being in high, fast-paced salons and high activity, I'm just more of I like to be busy, really busy, and I loved Fashion Week because we would have to do like 17 models in like 2 hours and get them off hustle, bustle, fast paced. And I really like that a lot. Like I've done photo shoots, and I have to say, I don't enjoy photo shoots as much as I enjoy Fashion Week because it's more fast paced. I love doing hair and stuff, but it's just, I guess I just crave that energy. Like working air shows and Fashion Week have a very similar feel.
That's really cool. Yeah, actually, you and I, when we worked Fashion Week together, yeah, it's funny, guys. It's so funny because every time you're around Laura, like you can't even keep up. Like she walks fast, she talks fast, she works fast. Like you definitely have that New York minute, where you
Hmm.
just go, go, go. So I can totally see how Fashion Week is exactly what you're looking for
Yeah,
as far as the type of stylist you are. Yeah.
right. It's funny. My daughter is the same, and I tell you, we're like lightning when we work together.
I bet. I bet.
Yeah.
All right. So, what was it like being a stylist for Celebrity Apprentice?
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
ever run into Trump?
I did not. I did not run into Trump. Um, I ran into his sons and his daughter, who is absolutely gorgeous. I'll tell you, Ivanka Trump is gorgeous. So much prettier, even in person, than she
Wow.
is on TV. It was really kind of shocking. She's
Yeah.
got the most gorgeous skin and really a beautiful person. So not Trump, but all the other celebrities, and it was so fun. The first year we did it was actually in my salon that I work in the city. We held both of the teams wound up um, doing their models in my salon. They were supposed to have two different salons, but one backed out. So one half of the salon was the girls' team, and the other half of the salon was the boys' team. So everybody was in the salon at the same time, and it was really cool. I loved being on that set.
Oh, that
We were
is
there.
cool.
That was the year with Nene Leakes and Star Jones and
Wow.
Little John and John Rich, Meatloaf. Oh, so
So
many
cool.
of them. So cool.
I hope that you have a lot of pictures.
Um, of course I don't, but I do have the video and I do have the episode. But
Right.
I know, again, when we work together, you know what it's like being backstage, being on stage, moving so fast. You don't even have time. You,
Right.
you don't have a minute to take a picture, and then afterwards you say, I can't believe I didn't take any pictures.
I know. That's exactly how it happens. And
Yeah,
that's why it's crazy because you see all this beautiful work on
yeah.
Instagram from all that stuff and you think, how in the world did you have time to do that? It's almost like you need an assistant just constantly taking pictures of you actually working.
It's exactly what it is. It is a photo shoot. When you see all those beautiful pictures, it's Instagram is and the social media is it's a full time job in itself. It's
Definitely.
right. It's not easy, and it's really you have to take time to post and edit your pictures and have a nice background and a clean background because it really speaks volumes about who you are as a stylist. And the details in all of the pictures. It's it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I can remember when I first started doing hair, before Instagram and Facebook and everything, we had like portfolios, right, that we
Mhm.
would take to salons, and this is how you sort of proved
Right.
yourself. And so now this is what Instagram is. It's sort of like showing everybody your work, all the time and your personality. So
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool, and how quick you can actually, reach somebody is a really
Right.
big deal. So it makes sense to take the time, and make sure it's right.
I agree. And take classes on how to do it correctly and model yourself after people that you see because there's a very specific way to take pictures and look at the people with lots of followers. Look at Hair God Zito, KCO, right? Like a lot of different um, stylists and see what their pictures look like.
Yeah.
And take classes because it's whole social media and posting it. There's a whole science behind that as well.
Yes. So, what is a day in your life like? Are you the type of person who like gets up and goes to the gym, or are you kind of like a morning person? Like, what's a day in your life like?
I would definitely say I'm a morning person, and the gym is definitely part of my routine. And working and trying to do a little bit of yoga when I can, just to de-stress and some meditation as well.
Are you pretty strict with your diet, or like do you do like smoothies, or you like eat pizza?
Uh, I I am, I say, am I strict with my diet? I guess I am strict with my diet, but I do cheat. But I mostly try to eat right. I try to have not really pizza, even though I love pizza. I love all fat food. Believe me,
Right.
Big Macs and supersada and salami and cheese. I love all of that. But typically, when I really don't have sugar because sugar is really bad for me. I'm definitely a sugar addict, and when I eat sugar, I have no control over what I eat for the rest of the day. It's not great. Um,
I can't even imagine you with like too much sugar because you already go 100
I
miles an
know.
hour. I can't even
You know,
imagine.
you know what's funny? Probably slows me down.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Um, oh, I love sugar though. I could smell it. I like to stand at candy stores. I just love it, but I don't eat it. I haven't eaten it for about a year and a half. I have more like fruit. I'll eat fruit and um, like that, vegetables, and I I will have carbs, but I have more natural carbs. I try to have more natural, like potatoes or maybe rice and quinoa and more protein. And I'm definitely trying to eat a lot healthier right now.
So when you're on set or you're doing something and you're really super busy in the back room, what is some like, do you make sure that you have water with you, or like,
Hmm.
what do you do? Do you snack in between moments, or are you that type of person that just doesn't eat for 10 hours
Yeah,
straight?
it's funny when I'm really busy and I really don't eat that. I could go the entire day without eat. I always have water. I always have the water bottle with me, but I really can. If I'm busy or I'm doing a class or I'm doing a show, I literally could not eat the whole day. It wouldn't even bother me.
Isn't that awful? I feel like hairstylists get trained to be able to hold
Yeah,
their pee
yeah,
and not eat for
yeah.
like 12 hours.
Well, if you're not drinking, it definitely helps too. You
Right.
have nothing moving in that way.
It's just the art of dehydration. Yeah.
Yeah. But I love those days. I love the days that I didn't think about what I was going to eat all day. Like when I would go to hair shows, I would wake up in the morning and make sure like I would get like a sausage, just a big fatty sausage, so that it would hold me over for the day if I got a chance
Right.
to do that.
So, what do you do to bring like calmness or peace into your life? I know you mentioned like
Yeah.
yoga, but is there anything that you do regularly to sort of bring calmness?
Well, definitely the yoga, stretching, like if I could meditate for a little bit, it's great, even if I do it at night. But one thing that I do that I really am very conscious to do is like just to take in what's around me, like looking at the sky or looking at something pretty, like trying to focus on what's in my vision. Because I mean, when I think about how many years I've gone where I probably never even noticed the sky. Now I'll look up and I'm like, oh, look at the sky. It's just calms me and brings me back to like being
Yeah.
mindfulness, or the pretty colors of the trees and how they reflect off the sky or off each other. It really is very helpful, and I love it. I try to really take take notice of what's going on around me. If I see a family walking, I'm like, oh, look at how cute that little family is. And I try to stay in the moment as much as I can throughout the day, even if it's forced, where I say, wait,
Right.
let me take a look. Let me stay where I am for this moment. You know, I think even people should just set a timer, two times a day, set it off and just say, where am I right now? What is around me? It's really, really important
Yeah.
with the hustle bustle, right? With everything going on. It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I actually do that as well. And I try and do that, the first thing as soon as I wake up in the morning, just find the things to be grateful for and what I'm going to accomplish for that day. But I do that too. I try to just let the tree blow and sort of watch it and learn to appreciate just everyday life and how amazing things are. So
Mhm.
I'm glad to hear that I'm not crazy. It's also you who does that.
Well, I am crazy, but
Right.
well, no, honestly, I think everybody should do it. I think it's Really, it's not just us. It really is. You listen to your clients, right? And you could just feel the stress and the tension in them, and the moving 1,000 miles a minute. And it's really, it's sad, how we all feel so much stress and pressure all
Yeah.
throughout the day. So many things pulling at us that it almost takes your breath away sometimes, right? When you're talking to some of your clients, you say, just take a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it is pretty special too, like when you have your clients and, I do this quite a bit. I actually will turn them around in the chair and just look at them in their eyes when they're talking to me,
Mm-hmm.
just to give them that moment and let them know that I'm listening.
Uh-huh.
Because even in the salon, it's the same thing. It's go, 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 go,
Yeah,
go. And, or I'll sit down in the chair next to them and just sort of have that conversation.
right.
So, yeah, that's really important.
It is. It's very nice. We are their therapists. They're ours,
Definitely.
and they're ours.
Yeah, that is so true. I
Mhm.
mean, what would you do without them? As
No,
long as you've been doing hair and I've been doing hair, I've actually been able to see kids, from when they were little all the way through school, just love watching them grow up and their families. And I mean, it's just amazing.
it is. I always say my clients raised me. They told me who I want to be and who I don't want to be.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah, I love that.
yeah, they really did. They definitely raised me.
So, do you think that you will ever retire from this industry?
Nope, nope.
Why? Why is that?
I can't. It's who I am. I can't. I say, like, yes, I'm a nurse too, but if you told me I couldn't be a nurse tomorrow, I'd be like, okay. But if you told me I couldn't be a hairdresser, it would be like breaking a football player's legs, like that would just,
Right.
it's just, I couldn't. And teaching it wouldn't be enough. I need to touch it. I need to be part of it. It's like who I am. It's just a part.
Right.
It's funny. People are like, oh yeah, yeah, I used to be a hairdresser. I think, how could you used to? Like,
Yeah.
used to, but you never really were. If you used to, and you doesn't mean anything to you,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I
Mhm.
get that completely because that always blows me away too. Because if it's in you, man, like really, really in you, you find a way to make it work for your family or for financially or whatever. Like you
Everything,
continue to push.
right? Like it's not a possibility for me.
Right.
Like it's just what? It's like saying you're not going to breathe oxygen anymore.
Right.
That's just not it. And that's not to say that I don't get bored or whatever. But when I do get bored, I just say, okay, let me go to another class. Um, I've been doing a lot of braiding, with the braidathons and all. And so I go on YouTube and that's the braiding was never really something I was super great at, but I'm loving it right now because there's so many new techniques and I get to watch all these different things. And I've been doing a whole lot of braiding lately, and it's so much fun.
Yeah. So tell me about that. Tell me about your Glam Slam Productions. Like, what is this about, and what type of events and stuff do you guys do?
So Glam Slam Productions is like a third-party event company, and we produce stylist-based events that benefit charities. So it's just a bunch of stylists getting together, sharing their passion, their craft, or, inspiring each other, and at different events. We've had some hair shows, and the first hair show we did, we had featured 5 salons and 5 different manufacturers, and each salon represented a manufacturer. And they did like a 5 minute, dance, hair presentation up on the stage. And then each salon had a booth that was promoting their salon and their products. And they were teaching, these were open to the public, only the public, and teaching them ways that they could use the styling tools and products. So, for example, one salon taught them how to do beach waves and how to use the products. And then all the products that we sold and all the ticket sales and all the money we raised went to, for the first one, went to the American Cancer Society, the Look Good, Feel Better program.
Wow.
And yeah, we raised, I think, $3,000 at that event.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Then the next one, we had, I think, 300 people there. Then the next one we did it for the AHRC, which was special needs, and it was so fun. So again, we had the 5 salons representing 5 different brands, same scenario, and we made all of the special needs people, celebrities. They were our special celebrities. And it
Wow,
was
how
so cool. It
cool.
was so cool. We gave them makeovers and clothes, and they were dancing, and they were models, and they felt amazing. And at that event, we had 600 people, and we raised $5,000.
Wow, you're
Yeah.
really making a difference.
Yeah, and that was just all different stylists getting together. No competition, nothing. Just like when we're at shows, right? It's just the best of shows. Bunch of stylists helping each other out. And so right now, what we're doing is the focus for 2019 and maybe 2020 is braidathons. And braidathons are just again, same thing, stylists getting together, braiding at different events. So we did suicide prevention last October, and it was just we braided for like 2 hours. We made $500. Then,
Wow.
yeah, then we did one just right. We did it for the American Cancer Society back to back. Then the next day we did it for Camp Sunrise, and
So that's the one. That's the one I
that's the
went
one you were at,
to, right?
right? Right. So we,
Okay.
right. So the American Cancer Society, I think we raised like $300. That was a small walk. There was only it's only about maybe 200 people there, and then at the next walk there was like 3,000 people there, and we raised like $500 total for that. So we had a
Wow.
productive weekend. We need the more stylists we get, the more money we're going to get, the more money we're going to make, and we totally, looking to get more and more people involved with this, different walks in their area. First of all, it is great to give back and, learn from each other as we're, working next to each other. It's also a really great way to promote your salon, in a good way. It's free. You just go out and give your time. And for example, when we were at that walk, right,
Yeah.
that you were at, how many people were asking, where could I get this done? Where could I go? This is such a great idea. And all the stylists that we had there were not from the area.
Right.
So I definitely am going to start promoting that right now. We're working on a video. I told my daughter is working on a video, working on the different videos so we can start getting the stylists to commit now, and I'd love to just grow this and keep going across the United States, different states. We're going to be going to, I'm going to go to Manhattan. I think we're going to go to Westchester for the
Okay.
autism walk. So just to get more people involved with this. And hopefully, it becomes like, the Toys for Tots,
Yeah.
all the bikers get together. There is nothing more inspiring than watching those bikers, get together and, ride across for a cause. And that's how I feel about stylists. They're just so cool. We're all pierced and tattooed and all working together to
Right.
do a great thing. It's just not something you see every day. So I'd love to just keep uniting the industry in that way.
Yeah, well, you're doing an excellent job. And the event that I actually was invited to that we went to was so amazing. How many people did you say was at that
There
event?
were 3,000 people at that walk.
Yeah, 3,000 people at that walk. That walk. So
Yeah.
you can't even imagine what that feels like to just be standing there with that many people. And that
Yeah.
one was specifically for cancer children
Right. That was it.
and their siblings, right?
Right. That's a free camp for children with cancer and their siblings.
Uh,
So, and what a beautiful walk that was. Oh my
Powerful.
goodness.
Yeah,
Right.
very powerful. So, where are you looking like for salons? So, are you looking for salons like in, say, like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, or are you just looking for salons around the area of where you're doing your charity work?
Well, I mean, I'm more than welcome to go to any area that they're around. And I mean, any area, but it would also be benefit for them to do it where they work so that they can promote themselves, right? And
Right.
and there are plenty of walks everywhere. I think every state every has walks, and the great thing about the walks is that you don't have to really advertise because they're there. All the people are already there, so it's not slow,
Right.
right? We could have totally, um, we could have totally done so many more people had we had more stylists at that camp
Right.
Sunshine.
So where can the listeners find you? Where can they maybe sign up or, become a part of this with you?
Yeah, well, glamslamproductions.com is the webpage. And if they go onto the events, they'll say upcoming events. It'll show what events are upcoming. If you want to sign up, you just click on that link. It'll take you right to the sign up page, and you could sign up for whatever events are coming up. Right now, we have left the October 27th suicide prevention, which and that walk is so super important. I wish we get so many different stylists to be part of that because suicide prevention is about conversation, right?
Right.
And that's like so easily preventable, by just having a conversation and guiding people, people that are feeling alone. And we're always the first people that, people talk to. Stylists will say things to us that they won't say to anybody else,
Right.
And I think it's really super important for people to like wear their salon shirts and hand out information because you don't know that whose life you're going to be touching,
Right.
And they may say, "Oh, let me go to that salon." Maybe they want to say, "Oh, I saw you at the walk." You just never know who's
Right.
in the area. And also with that, the great thing about it was that, and the great thing about all of the braid-a-thons is that it promotes conversation amongst the people that are at the event. Oh, I love your braids. And did you go there? And suicide prevention was super impactful in that way because it made everybody start talking, what people
Right.
may be sad. And it just made a connection. That's what it is, braiding the three strands: hope, strength, and support. And that's the significance
Wow.
of braid.
Wow, that's amazing. Laura, we are so excited that you joined us today on this podcast. I think pretty much, we learned so much about you. We learned so much about Glam Slam and New York Fashion Week, all these different things that you offer as a stylist. But one thing I want to say is just you as a person, you're an amazing person. And thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I realize that time is really valuable, and I really appreciate you being a guest on the show.
Oh, thank you so much, Colie. I feel the same way about you. I love working with you. It's always cool. It's always easy. It's always you're definitely the type of stylist that I always like to be around. We always work so easily together. No drama, just helping each other. It's always a pleasure.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Laura, and we'll talk soon.
Okay. Sounds great.
For more salon and business education, visit americassalonacademy.com.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money for your podcast with minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
For more education and information, visit americassalonacademy.com.